Nick Baldwin for SevereMMA here with UFC strawweight Amanda Ribas, who takes on Emily Whitmire this Saturday night at UFC Minneapolis. Amanda, I appreciate the time. You signed with the UFC 2 years ago, and you are only making your debut this Saturday. How frustrating, with the USADA suspension going on, how frustrating have these past 2 years been for you?
I think now I'm really happy. I'm just thinking that in this fight I had 2 years to put my mind on the right place. Now I am a bigger fighter than that time, so I'm really happy to be here, to doing what I love, and that's it.
So even though obviously no one wants to get suspended for 2 years, you're able to see the positives in it and sort of, see the positives and make it work.
Yes, of course. Always in my life I look this side. So I trust in God, and I know He has the best for me. So I know now it's the time to put my work there and to shine.
So you tested positive for a small amount of Austrian, which just last month USADA lifted your suspension, determined it was related to supplement contamination, and so that you no longer had to serve the rest of your suspension. I'm just curious, over the past 2 years before you were sort of cleared and USADA said you're not guilty of actually using Austrian, did you have a lot of people calling you a cheater?
Not a lot of
No?
ones.
Okay.
I come to a small city, and the people don't know what is doping, what is nothing, and a lot of people say, you a drug dealer, and me, what? I didn't drink nothing, I didn't drink it. And my mind, I'm like, well, how this come in my body? And now USADA say I'm clean, it was contamination. So because of that, I know that God have a big work for my life, and I'm doing the best I can for the show the world with a big smile and a lot of determination. You can beat the world.
How relieved were you when USADA finally lifted that suspension and sort of cleared your name?
I logged a lot, I cry a lot because it's like I'm a clean, you know. I knew it, I was clean, and that's everybody knows I am clean, and I am happy too, and I hope I can do a best show for you guys.
Do you know why it took them almost the entire suspension? Again, your suspension would have been over this month anyways. Why did it take them 23 months, and do you know why they weren't able to determine that it was contaminated supplement earlier on?
I don't know.
No? Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. It's been 3 years since you fought. As I said, you signed with the UFC 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think this layoff will affect your performance on Saturday?
Haven't been 3 years I don't fight MMA in the cage. But I am competing jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, boxing, wrestling. Everything USADA said to me, you can't fight this, so I'm fighting. And I'm training a lot. I'm eating the mat, I'm eating everything. And I am a fighter since I'm a child. My daddy was my coach since I'm a baby. So the gloves were my pillow since I'm a baby. So for me, this is so natural, it's so normal. I think I will be a big fighter and give a great show for everybody.
Okay, so because you've competed in jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai and kickboxing, you feel like the layoff won't be an issue, and that you have stayed active, just not in MMA.
Yes.
You're taking on Emily Whitmire. Do you know much about Emily, your opponent? Have you done the research, looked into her? Where do you feel like she could pose some challenges, and where do you feel like you're ultimately better?
I think it's the awesome fight for me because she's coming to 2 victories in the UFC. It's great for me, took a big fighter, and I know she likes on the ground too, and she does a lot of punchings, and I think it will be a great fight for both of us, and it will be awesome.
Do you train full-time, or do you teach MMA? Do you teach combat sports, or do you have a job on the side? How do you pay the bills?
I teach for the child in my city. I have a small city, and we have a project there. We took the kids outside the streets and give the sports for them to have a dream. I train a lot. My life is training. My family has a gym, so I live in the gym.
So I imagine, even though you're now going to actively compete in UFC and make more money doing MMA, I imagine you still plan on teaching those kids even if you don't have to financially?
Ah, of course.
Okay.
I love that. I love being an example for someone, understand? Like I said, my city is small. So when they see me, oh my God, Amanda is in UFC and she came from here, for our small city to the world. So that's awesome to me. I'm feeling really happy.
Do you hope to inspire those kids? Do you think you and your platform can serve as an inspiration?
My dream is that, to be like, I'm walking the street and I try to, oh Amanda, I did that because of you. But then for me, this is my dream.
I'm curious. Now, maybe not a fair question because there's no way of knowing this, but if you were able to compete over the past 2 years and the suspension didn't happen and you were able to stay active when you first signed 2 years ago, where do you think you would sit in the strawweight division right now? Would you be in contention for the title? Would you have already fought for the title? Where would you sit if you would have been able to remain active?
I don't know how to answer this.
Let me rephrase it. In 2 years from now, where do you think you'll be?
I will be the champion of the category.
Okay. I'm curious. Jessica Andrade from Brazil, she just recently defeated Rose Namajunas for the title. What did you make of her slam KO win, and what did you think of her performance?
I was there. I was really excited about the fight because I love Jessica and I like Rose too. So I was like, hi, who will win, who will win? And I think Jessica is awesome. And I'm sending good positive vibes for her for this fight now in China too. And she's great, strong.
Last question, you're taking on Emily Whitmire this Saturday night at UFC Minneapolis. How do you feel like you get the win?
Submission.
Any reason submission? Do you know what round or?
No, because I trust in my jiu-jitsu. And judo, I am black belt of judo too.
Fair enough. Amanda, thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it, and best of luck to you on Saturday.
Thank you.